So last week we didn't really look at much because there wasn't much alignment last week. But this week we might see something different. Now, from last week, I held on to my trade, which was gold. I think I spoke about this about 2 weeks ago. And the main reason I'm holding on to gold is mainly because of seasonality, basically. It's the season for it, and we've been chasing this, I think, practically every year for the past 5-6 years. So it's more of the season that occurs, and we just piggyback off of that move. Now, I'm just going to quickly do a quick overview of gold before we even look at anything else. So currently, right now, I don't know if anyone else is in the gold trade with me, but I took this gold trade 2-3 weeks ago. And the moment we're in the asset right now, it's in a stage of expansion. And what we're trying to look for is the ideal entry point for people that haven't really gotten into this trade yet. So currently, today is the 14th, so 14th of 08. We're somewhere around here. So if you've missed the up move starting from around here, you have an opportunity to go around here, 14, and then you can ride the rest of the move up until September. So if I can remember, I think I was in gold from here. So I got in quite late myself, but I've been able to successfully pick 649 pips, which I think profit, hold on, let me just check my phone for profit. Profit should be about 13 up. So I'm about 13,954 up. So that being said, let's see if we can get another entry for gold this week. So for those that haven't been in, you can use this for a long-term trade till September, because the move is already occurring anyway. The up move has started, so the likelihood of it stopping is lower. So if we get a good alignment on the COT and we get a good alignment on probability, then we might be good to go on gold. So first things first. COT, let's see. And if you have any other trades you want me to look into, please type it in the comment section. I will look into that for you. So if you want me to look at a specific trade, please type it up. So I'll look into that one. Right now, I want to start off with gold because it's the trade I'm in, and it seems to be pushing higher than expected. Okay, I'll look into those. So let's see what the COT of gold is saying. So currently on the COT of gold, they're literally short in gold. Now, because we know that we're looking to buy, I would say if you're not in gold yet, just stay away from it. Yeah. As much as I do like you to get a position this week, if you're new to trading and you still don't understand a little bit, you don't understand much about it, I would say just stay away. But if you're more advanced, you can try to get a position tomorrow. Ideally, wait for it to bounce back to somewhere around this region. We just got the support from the 50 EMA. So if it bounces back to somewhere around this region, you can then piggyback off of that trade and get an entry here. Here would be a good region for entry anyway. You have to wait for the market to pull back 44 pips now. If we look at that on the weekly, price is literally around 20 EMA. So literally, I'm banking on doing a fifth week going higher. Now, keep in mind, the COT report said, it's meant to go short, which is predicting it's meant to fall. But this is for people that are professionals and know exactly what they're doing. You try to climb up with that. But if you're new to the game, just let it go. We'll find more trades. So that being said, let's jot down a few of the other trades that you mentioned. We have NZD, we have CAD, we have JPY, we have USD, we have CHF. So that's what we have today. So let's go through each and every one of them and see if we can get a good alignment. So Let's start off with USD, CAD, NZD, CHF, and then we got JPY. Hey, Haslin, how you doing? Good, good. So we're just looking at into which trade you want to be done this week. So if you guys have any trade you need to look at, someone's mentioned a few of them already. I'm just looking at these ones that I mentioned already. So the first thing we see is CAD going long. Now what we look at is the changes, only the changes. Long means buy, short means sell. The changes means are they adding more position to their long or are they adding more positions to their short? And currently right now on CAD we have that going long. Now I'm gonna put that as a start because the position isn't that much, so we might just see a tiny bit of movement right there for CAD. So that being said, let's look at other assets that might be in alignment. So CHF doesn't seem to have anything going long or short. So for that reason, I'm going to delete CHF out of our list. And it might be a week's lag, but with the lag of 1 week, the data is still accurate, super accurate. So we've got JPY going short. Which looks good. 4,000 new position added to the short side. That's perfect. Just gonna wait for the other ones to go. And then we can see what they're saying. But so far this week, we've already seen just 2 assets being in alignment. Now, apologies, my system might be slightly slower because UK is extremely hot. All our devices right here is literally burning hot. It's not one of those countries that you really buy AC because we never really needed it. But it is hot. So USD, we don't have an alignment, so we're going to close that. Let's see what we got for NZ. NZ, we go short where it's very, very small. So, I'm going to put that as a star as well. So it's only 94 new positions, nothing major. So that being said, let's see what the seasonality said for this thing. NZD. See which one we have the alignment with. NZD going short. So right here, we're currently right here. And this actually does look good because NZD should be going short from the 17. And if we check the 17, that should be Wednesday. So NZD, we have a short on NZD on Wednesday. So seasonality, we go NZD. So we have that going short on Wednesday on the 17th, and that's gonna actually go short till the end of the month. So that's good. Next thing we have in line on CAD and JPY. So we got JPY going long just for about a few days up until the 16th. Well, just 16, 17, about 3 days. But immediately afterwards, falling. So I don't really like it, but I think you see the volume ain't big at the end of the day. You need this already. So Monday to Wednesday, we got that along, and then JPY. So with JPY, we wanted to go short. Right? If we have that alignment with short, then we might have a good short with JPY. Now I don't really like the way this graph is looking already. This, all we can see is JPY is actually pointing long on the seasonality, but probability and COT is actually pointing short. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Rizzo. Yeah. Which is the same day actually that it's saying short. So they might take away some figures from the interest rate. That might be weird, but let's see to Wednesday anyway. If NZD happens to reduce the interest rate, I don't even know what figure it is at the moment. Then what we're most likely going to see is we're going to see that dropping down. And if that happens, that would be good for us. So with the JPY, we don't really have an alignment with JPY when it comes to seasonality. So all we're left with is NZD and CAD. Let's go check the probability of NZD and CAD. So, now the key is to find 3 days alignment. If we find 3 days alignment in any of them, then we're good to go. So we got NZD CHF. So if we check August, and we see that we have a good alignment for NZD going down, then we take that trade. We'll see. So NZD, we're expecting it to fall from Wednesday, which is the 17th, right? So let's see. We have anything on the 17th for this. Yeah, 17 looks good on NZD CHF, but 18, 19 doesn't really look that much better. So NZD CHF is out the window. If I saw this image there. So we got that NZD JPY. So now with the probability, we got NZD JPY going short on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is good because we wanted all of this anyway. Up until next week, we have 63, then 63 back down, then up. Yeah, we can break this to the end of the month. So first trade we have will be NZD JPY short. So this literally can go all the way to the end of the month, which is the 30th. For NZD JPY, let's see what we have to do NZD, because Euro, we're expecting NZD to lose strength, so we're expecting Euro to gain some strength. So let's see from the 17th. So in regards to this, what we should be looking at is Euro NZD going up. So and 17th, we have up 50-50, up, 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 up. This looks good. End of the month up. Now, the only challenge we have here is it's 50-50. Apart from that, everything else looks good. So I'm going to put that also here. Same thing, but I'll put it at medium risk for now. It might be high. I don't know. Let's see what William says about that. Next thing is NZD USD. Could be the same. I don't know. So expected NZD to lose strength against the USD. We have it for that, then gain strength, then loses strength all the way through day. This also might survive to the end of the month. There's a possibility that that also goes to the end of the month. Sure. So I put medium risk also. CAD seems to be next. So NZD, we're expecting it to lose strength, but it didn't lose strength on the 17th as expected. It loses on the 18th, 19th, but then doesn't really seem like it's going to do much throughout that month. So what we can do is also, this would be, now this would be our risk. I don't really like 3 days. Short. This will be short from 18th. It's like a short-term trade, nothing to know. 18 to 19, we got 3%, then 64%. So we'll go next on that. Go short, long, short. All I'm just looking at is the percentage, guys, just the percentage of I'm trying to see if we're going to have it looking in our favor, because AUD, NZD, and NZD is meant to lose strength, so AUD is meant to gain strength. So we can't even have any entry from the 17 because it looks like AUD is going to be weak. So we take that out of the list. Last but not the least, GBP, NZD. So GBP is meant to gain strength, NZD is meant to lose strength. We can't see that right here. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. No, so all in all, we have those 4 so far. Now we haven't really checked at the CAD neither, so we can check on CAD. Let me see, we still have a little bit of time because that's Monday. CAD ones is Monday to Wednesday, then you can pick up the NZD from Wednesday all the way to the end of the month. So it's only right I give CAD as well. And then if we have a little bit more time, we'll do technical analysis, look into the technicals, and see what we can, what clues are there for us to find. So let's see. So let's see what we have on CAD, CHF. We're looking for an entry from Monday, which is 15th. So we have that Monday, Tuesday. For Wednesday, we don't have Wednesday, so we're exiting anyway on Wednesday. So what we can do is CAD, CHF. Go long. 15 to 16. I'm still going to put that. I'm actually going to put that high risk. I'm classifying this as high risk is because it's only 2 days trade. The longer the trade, the lower the risk. But a lot of people believe the opposite, that the longer the trade, the higher the risk. But the reverse is actually true in this scenario. So next is CAD JPY. If you have any questions, by the way, leave it in the chat box. You can message me privately and put it in the chat box. It doesn't matter. So next one is CAD JPY on the 15th. So we're expecting CAD to gain strength. We don't see that on that Monday, but we see on Tuesday. We'll let that go. We only have 3 days. EuroCAD, Euro is meant to gain some strength, lose some strength actually, and CAD gain some. So meant to see, that forwards 2 days straight. So we got that Euro CAD. Euro CAD short. Next thing is USD CAD. US is meant to lose some strength, so we have that also here. Same thing. So USD CAD. So we have that also. Then the next thing is GBP CAD. GBP is meant to lose strength also, since CAD is gaining some. So use on day one, came back, I don't want that. I want those 2 days at least. So take that off the list. And second to the last, let's see what we got. AED CAD. AED is meant to lose some strength. It doesn't lose it on the first day or the second day, so we take that out of the list. Go to the next one. The date I'm checking is on the 15th. I'm looking for CAD to gain some strength. So if CAD gains some strength, NZD will lose some strength, which leaves us with Monday NZD CAD as well. So now if you notice something, we have NZD CAD here twice. So NZD CAD short from 15 to 16. Then NZD comes in again, CAD comes in 18th to 19th. So 15, 16 on that 17 is most likely going to have a pullback. For 18, 19, we're going to have that going down. So if we go to NZD CAD first, let's see what we have here. So what we're expecting from NZD CAD is to go short from 15 now. If you look at it, there's been a massive spike already. Now, Williams is not really pointing down. I would have preferred Williams to point down, but it was pointing down at this stage, but that down has not been filled in yet. So most likely we're going to get that down coming in. Now, just looking at this, we can identify a little bit of point of resistance. There's a resistance section all the way from here to here. Now, because we know we want to go in on the trade on the 15th, which is tomorrow, what you can do is you can do an average week calculation for the short. So you can count a week right here, here, and here. People that have been here before know what I'm talking about. You can count that and use that as an entry point. Now, just by looking at this even on a smaller time frame, because my entry is meant to be somewhere within this green zone, and because I'm looking to go in on Monday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this actually. Come back here and look for the point of resistance there, because the proximity of entry is very short. So which leaves me around here. So this entire zone right here is a pocket of liquidity. Look at what happened. The first time price came into that zone, just slightly touching it, the 50 was there as well. Price bounced down. And what we're expecting is when price gets in there, secondly, he bounces down. And basically that would fulfill, that should fulfill the NZD trade going down. And to take profit, Wednesday, we don't really need to exit the trade on Wednesday. We can exit on Friday instead. So what we can do is get an entry there and exit at here. Now, to narrow down the entry a little bit further, we can use the support and resistance. It will help us identify zones in which we have support and resistance in. And then we can now look. So within the zone, for example, there is a resistance point right at the top right here. Now, seeing price going all the way to here before it bounces back tomorrow, I think that's near impossible, unless there's a massive news for either NZD or CAD. So my next best bet would be somewhere around here, about 27 pips up, just almost into the green zone. I might be a little bit patient, wait for price to get into the green zone, and then sell from there. I'm just trying to look for zones in the green zone that we might have an entry. Yeah. So I wait. My entry is most likely going to be somewhere around here. Maybe. I use the support and resistance to help me clarify areas when I'm not sure. So for me, right there, this seems like a very, very small patch. If you look at it on the 1 hour, there's a resistance right there from PZ entry. So within this zone on the 1 hour, wait for price to come in, then you sell. If you want to be the safest, wait for price to break the 50 EMA, then you sell. That's your safest entry point. Because once price breaks the 50 EMA, the 50 and the 20 will act as dynamic resistance, pushing price back all the way down, because we already know where we're aiming it to go to. So that would be the one for NZD CAD. If you have any questions, please let me know. Then let's check NZD JPY for some time now. So the NZD JPY, we are also selling from the 17th, so that's Wednesday. Now, because you know you're going to go into the market on Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday on NZD JPY, you don't really need to be here. Now, ignore all of this lines that you're seeing right there. It's just support and resistance zone. If I tell you, for example, you're going into the market on Wednesday, and you have a support and resistance indicator, all you just need to do is come on Wednesday, look for where the nearest support or the next resistance is, for example, and take your entry from there. If you're going down, take your entry from the next resistance point. If you're going up, you take your entry from the next support point. But there's a but. Don't go to 1 minute time frame and then go look for support and resistance and take entry from there. That's not going to work, right? Don't go for the 5 minute time frame and go look for support and resistance from there. Your minimum should be about an hour. 4 hours daily is your best. Daily, weekly, anything from 4 hours up until monthly is your best. 1 hour you can still, at least get some good entry with that. So come Wednesday, go to your 4 hour or your 1 hour, look for the nearest, resistance point, because we're selling NZD JPY. Then you take your entry from there, and then your stop loss would be the ATR value. You just insert, you go to indicators, average true range, ATR, leave it at 14 period, and it will tell you what your stop loss is going to be. So in this case, we have 33 basically. So with 33, for example, you can times that by 1.5, which should give you, at least, if I'm not mistaken, it should be about almost 50 pips, less than 50, probably 48, 49 pips, something like that. Or maybe actually 50. Yeah, let's just say around 50 pips. So your stop loss is going to be around 50 pips. Your first profit is also going to be around 50 pips. But the trick is, if you wait to price hits the resistance right here, the likelihood of price going further 50 pips higher is lower. So basically, price is most likely going to come to the first 50 pips, which is your take profit, or you use 33 pips if you want to quickly come out of the market. Take your first profit out of the game, and then let price descend further. And then you can take your second profit at 50 pips, and your third one, you can let it run for, as long as the trade is meant to last, the end of the month. So I hope this kind of helps in regards to the entry and exit, and we have the date already when you're meant to go into the market. So it's kind of, it's an easy game after that. Another trick is not to look at your trade every single time. Once you go into the market, you don't want to spend time looking at it. You set your stop loss, you set your take profit, don't come and babysit it. If you do that, you make emotional mistakes. Trade might be going very good and be like, you know what, I want to grab 2 more positions. And those 2 more positions you might grab, for example, if you had a perfect entry around here and you grab 2 more positions around here and you're over leveraging those 2 positions, they're higher than the one at the top. When price does a pullback, which it does every single time, what you end up having is that 2 bottom position will knock you out of the profit. And then when that happens, what will happen is you panic and you might start buying at that point, and then market goes all the way back down and you lose money. So you want to be focused. If you're choosing the down direction, which you've already chosen in this trade, wait for price to hit your support or your resistance level in this scenario. Once price hit it, set your stop loss at that given value, whichever your ATR gives you. Set your take profit. Set your if you want to use trailing stop, you can set trailing stop if you want. But that's a topic for another day. So set your top loss on your take profit, let the market ride, and you take your money as it goes. You take a loss, take that as a lesson, and then you move on from that. That being said, same concept applies to every single trade on this. The NZD, Euro, NZD, USD. All of these trades right here, I think we have 8 trades right here. So 8 trades right here, same principle applied to all 8 trades. So you pick whichever one resonate with you. Now, keep in mind, you have to take everything that I tell you with a pinch of salt. I'm not, saying I know everything about the market, but what I know, I've decided to share with you guys. So you have to make your own personal decisions. And, just like the way Mr. Uzo goes and check out news and see what's meant to happen. You should also take your initiative and check, do your research, and then make your decisions based on your research. Don't make your decisions based on what I've posted right here. Nevertheless, what I posted right here will guide you towards the direction you're meant to go. So it's just like a little disclaimer that I'm putting out there for everyone. That being said, those are the trades. The technical aspect is the easiest part of the game. You don't need to complicate it. Set your entry, set your exit, take your money or take a loss, whichever works best, which is most likely in our case profit, because the strategy is about 93%, 87 to 93%, I think, still successful. So you do that, and then don't get greedy. Whatever you do, do not get greedy. Take what you can. Look at the growth in terms of percentage, because I know some people might have $100, $200, $300, $400 account, for example. If you're looking at $400 account and you're making, $4, for example, as profit. Now, you might think that that's small, but always think in terms of percentages. That's 1%. A bank will not give you 1% return on investment in a day. In a week, they won't give you that. In a month, they won't give you that. In a year, likely would have been given that slow, unless they, some banks that really need foreign exchange. I know they do that in Nigeria now. They give about 6% on foreign exchange accounts. So that being said, if you're making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10% return on investment on your account, you're good to go. Even if you're making 0.5, imagine if you have $1 million, for example, and you're making 0.5%, on return on investment. Now, to you that might seem small, but that 0.5 is $5,000, $5,000 or 5,000 pounds. Always think about your growth in terms of percentages, not in terms of monetary value. That won't help you, because that will just push you more to the greed side. So that being said, that's all I have for you guys today. Those are the trades that I have outlined right there with the risk level. And I wish you guys best trading week ahead. I would have loved to find an entry for you in gold, because I'm in gold right now, taking that trade, and I'd love you guys to profit with me as well on that. Nevertheless, though, if the opportunity doesn't align, we don't take it. So that being said, guys, have a lovely trading week ahead. And if you have any questions, hit me up on the chat room. We can have a discussion there. And if you need the tools, because there's so many more trades that might be aligned, these are just the ones I found. You might find a better one that you resonate with rather than these ones. You can get the tools from business.gamerbattle.uk. I'll send you the website link. It's literally in the chat room anyway, so you can get your membership from there. All right, guys, take care of yourself. God bless you all, and peace out.